to your Personal Power Boost with Dr. Verna, a global force for transformation, unlocking human potential one leader at a time. Are you looking for a boost to help you reclaim your personal power? Then this is your weekly source, where we dive into conversations about navigating your professional and life journey. So, take a deep breath, open up your heart, and get ready to ignite your leadership and fuel your spirit. Let's go. Welcome back to Personal Power Boost with Dr. Verna. It's great to have you back. I hope that all is well with you during this holiday season. Today we're going to talk about simplifying, how to simplify who you are, how to simplify your life, how to simplify your work life. And for those of you who need to simplify your home life, you can use this strategy as well to simplify your home life. But let's go ahead and start with our affirmation. This is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to, because it was given to me. And that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. For those of you who are brand new, welcome. I'm Dr. Verna Cornelia Price. It's great to have you on the podcast. Please listen in, subscribe, tell your family and friends to do the same. And for those of you who are my regulars, good to see you again. And I hope that all is well with you. And question, have you done your high five? And you know what your high five is? 5, yourself, and 4 of your friends are actually subscribing. Because I know many of you listen, but I need you to hit the button and subscribe. All right. So, life seems very complicated these days. Every day there is something going on. The news is out of control. There's so many things happening at work. There are layoffs. There's all sorts of things happening at home. Some of you, like myself, you may have children who are just getting out of college, children who are getting ready to go to college. So there's a lot going on. And the tendency for us is to get so absorbed in it that we forget that we can simplify it. So this strategy, and I've been talking about this lately because I have seen too many people get kind of like sucked into this place where you're just paralyzed. You don't know what to do. Your mind now is all confused. You're feeling anxious. Some of you are actually feeling depressed. You don't know what to do. You don't know what's going on. And the truth of the matter is that it's still your life. Let me say this again. It is still your life. It is still your life. Everything that's going on in your life is still yours. So you get to just sit down for a minute and think about how to simplify everything in your life. And I can tell you just about anything at work, if it seems to be a problem, simplify it. At home, if it seems to be a situation, simplify it. And how do you simplify that? By simply asking 3 questions. The first question is, what is the root issue here? What is the root issue? What's the foundational issue? I'll give you an example. In your work life, there seems to be confusion on your team. There seems to be miscommunication on your team. There seems to be that issues are rising up and people are getting sensitive and, meetings are becoming awkward and strange. And what's going on? So what I want you to do is just step back and I want you to ask yourself the question, what is the root of this issue? Simplify it. Is the root that your team is simply not communicating with one another? Is the root that you hired someone brand new, they don't know the culture, and they simply are they're just trying to get to know who you are and how things work, so they're asking lots of questions? Is the root that you've extended your stay in that employment and you're really tired? You're tired. You no longer want to be in that organization. You no longer want to be in that company. As a result, your ability to simplify, right, your workplace has become really confusing because you're tired. So let's simplify that. I've always stay here. I need to look for another job. That's just simple. So when you get that simple statement of, I need to look for another job, or, my relationship isn't working, or, my team is not communicating well with one another. Or it could be as simple as, you know what? I am not getting enough rest. Or, you know what? I have been eating a lot of junk food lately, and I have got to change my diet. Simplify it. Because what happens when you don't simplify it is that you start complicating it. And when you start complicating it, you now get into this place where you're no longer solving your problems. You are becoming a part of the problem. You're no longer clear and focused. You're now confused. You're now anxious. You're no longer solving the problem, but you're simply worrying about or complaining about the problem. So, number one rule for simplifying your life at work and at home is to ask, what is the core issue? Number one. Number two, to simplify, and this is simply simplifying it, right? The other day, my daughter, who was getting ready to go to college, and she's working on, what's going to be my major? What do I want to do? So forth and so on. These are really big questions in life. And she said, Mom, it just seems like there's so much. And I stopped her and I said, let's simplify it. Let's simplify it. You're a senior in high school. Simplify it. You're going to graduate from high school. Simple. Simple. Simplify it. You're going to college. Simplify that. You've already done your college, you've already done your college applications. You're going to college, right? And then the other part to simplify it is you really have time. You have time to think about and reflect on what you want to do, what you want to major in, so forth and so on. So take the pressure off of yourself. And that's what simplification does. It takes some of that pressure off. It's like, I use a pressure cooker. A pressure cooker is a wonderful cooking tool. For those of you who've never used a pressure cooker, I would Google it, look it up, or GP chat it, or whatever you want to do, and figure it out. But my mom used a pressure cooker to cook, and it was always good. And I actually now have her pressure cooker. And so when you have a pressure cooker, what happens is that the pressure in the pot is what cooks your food quickly. And it's so tender, and all of the seasonings come together so well. But you'd better not open that pot before there's a little part on top of the pressure cooker where that little part, it has to pop up to let all the pressure out. And if you try to open that pot without the pressure in it, you're going to be in trouble, because you are going to have a problem. Everything's going to go everywhere, all over the place, and you're going to get burned by hot food, right? So when I say take the pressure off, that means just let out all of that steam. Let it all out. You don't have to solve it all today. You did not get to this place in one day. It's been years since you've been getting here. You didn't get to being in a financial, hole in one day. It's been years since you've been in a financial hole. It took years for you to get into debt. And guess what? It's going to take some time to get out. Same thing, right? If you have relationships, if something going on with your relationships, if something going on in your workplace, you've been in that job for 20 years, for 5 years. It took time for those things to develop. So it's going to take some time for you to simplify it, first of all, to say, yes, there's a problem here. Yes, here's the problem. And now I'm just going to take the pressure off myself and give myself time and grace. And for some of you, you're going to have to give yourself some forgiveness, because one of the reasons that your life is complicated is because you have complicated it. It's because of the decisions that you've made, and you've made poor decisions. And mind you, I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I am talking to myself, just like I'm talking to you. So don't get all offended and all huffy puffy, right? All I'm doing is trying to help you and help me, okay? So these decisions that we've made have gotten us to this place. So now it's time for us to own up to those decisions. And that's part of taking the pressure out. Own up to those decisions and give yourself some forgiveness and some grace to actually do what? Number 3, ask yourself a question. What can I do today? And in my world, as a human potential expert, what I help you do is use your personal power well. I help you figure out how to be an extraordinary adder and multiplier in your life and others, and how to avoid being a subtractor and a divider in your life and in others and the world. That is my job. So I have to ask you the question to create change. To create change in your life, you've got to take an action step. So after you ask yourself, what's the core issue? After you've taken the pressure off, forgiven yourself, giving yourself some grace, now it's time to ask yourself the question, what is one thing? I'm not looking for 10. And for those of you who are, age-driven folks like me, and you want to recreate everything in one day, and you think that you can make it all happen all the time. No, it's not going to work. This in simplification, this is not going to work. What's going to happen is that you do one thing. So the question is, just make it simple. And so the question becomes, what can you do today? One thing that you can do today to begin to solve the core issue. Just one thing. And it can be as simple as, I'm going to get to work 10 minutes earlier and make some notes about how I want to talk to each team member today. It could be as simple as, I am going to put together a retreat for my team so that I can get us all together, convene us, so we have some time to think and talk together. It can be as simple as, I am going to eat a salad today instead of all of that junk food that I have been eating now for the last 3 months. It can very simple. It can be simple. But I want you to take one action step, just one action step today to what? Begin to simplify your life and to begin to solve the core question. That simple question, what is going on? What is the core issue? I hope this was helpful. Take it to your teams, use the strategies. I'm telling you, the stuff works. And if it didn't work for me, I wouldn't even tell you about it. So go for it. And you know what? Please send me. I hope that you're watching this. I would like more of you to watch this on YouTube. So if you're listening to this on Spotify right now, I'd like you to watch me on YouTube. Actually, look at me. All right. So we can work together here. And then secondly, be sure to tell your family and friends about this podcast, because it is simply, my goal is very simple. It is to help people, empower you to use your personal power to do good in this world. All right, so we have a couple of things coming up that you need to know about. First of all, if you haven't booked a consultation to have me come to your company, to have me come to your business, to do a workshop, to do a keynote, please do. Just go ahead and go to my website. It says work with me. Go there, just book a consultation so we can get you on the book for 2026. Secondly, if you, and we all do, need a pop-up power session with me where we just need to figure something out really fast. You're going into a meeting, you're going to work, you're about to, talk to your boss, you're about to have that hard conversation, or you're just trying to think about what's your next step. Go ahead and book a pop-up session with me. There's a 45-minute sessions. It's really quick, to the point, strategies just for you and your situation. And once again, go to work with me on my website and you're going to see that. And then the third thing is that I am launching a mastermind group in January, all around changing your life and using my book, Change Your Life in 30 Days. And that cohort's a small cohort. So be looking for when that comes up. I will talk more about that in later podcast, but looking forward to working with you. And last thing, it is the gift giving season. And if you can see to my left, I think to my left, to your right are all my books. Please go online and order my books and give them to your family members, give them to your coworkers. Let me tell you, the stuff works. And I'm not just saying this because I wrote all the books. I'm saying it because I use all the books in all of my work, in all of my organizations, in all of my meetings. This is what I use are the core principles from my books, The Power of People, The Silent Cry, Change Your Life in 30 Days, and my latest book, which is Power Lessons for Life. Okay. That was a little commercial, so I hope you stuck with me on it. But I will see you next week. And let's go ahead and don't forget to simplify your strategies. Do you want me to, should I review those just in case you've written them down or you're driving? Okay, I'll review them. All right. So first things first, find the core issue. Second, give yourself some grace and forgiveness. Get the pressure off. Third, take one action step. Okay, simplify process from Dr. Verna. All right, let's finish up with the affirmation. Change your life. Okay, this is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to, because the Creator gave it to me. And that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. You have enough power right now in your life to change your life. All right, see you next time. Bye. If today's episode spoke to you, and you know it's time for a shift in how you lead, how your team connects, or how your culture performs, I want to personally invite you to take the next step. Book a free consultation at drvernaprice.com/workwithme and explore your next keynote, your leadership workshop, or executive coaching. It's time to get your power back, and it is time to get to your next level.